This is the pound Aussie on the 60-minute time frame, and this is a trend continuation trade that I got in. Originally this was not a double top. This was my stop above the outside return. However, since then we are double topping here, so I have been able to reduce the risk to just 46 from 100 pips. So what I'm just going to do, because this is trend continuation, we need to do our higher time frame analysis. Now, it's not an area where I really look for a double top, but nevertheless one has formed, and it has allowed me to reduce down my risk on this trade. So here on the daily time frame, we made a new high, we pulled back. Now the closest structure point is this level right here, and as you can see we have not hit it, and I'm anticipating price to come down to that level. Now we are seeing a reaction coming up at the moment today, and that's because we're at the 18200 psychological number. If I go to the 240 time frame though, and a similar story here, we're working our way down on the 240, but the trend you can see easier on the 60-minute time frame. So if I just remove these VF1 levels here, and let's draw out what price has done. So this was our most recent outside return. The market came down, putting an initial structure low, potential outside return, then new structure low, putting us in trend, outside return. Then this was a new structure low just here, and this was a low and tight flag. And whenever we see these flag patterns, it offers a nice resistance area, a good place to get short. And so the market then continued down, put in a new structure low, pulled back for a outside return, and we have double topped here. And the reason why I'm classing this as a double top is because if we look left, right here, you can see we've come into this internal level of structure and double topped at that level. So when I got involved just here based on a lower close, and that's why my stop was above this swing high. However, as I watched this form and we were putting in this double top, you can see that we did also have the RSI confirmation as well, so we'd gone overbought with divergence. This can be seen a lot better on the 15-minute time frame. And this was actually, we'd already had a double top up here and we pulled back for a 26.18, and then I decided to reduce down the risk once we had this rejection candle and we'd been putting in the lower closes, and we've got 2 minutes to go until this candle closes here, officially on the 15-minute, then giving us a double top with a break below, close below. So a very nice trading opportunity here. So just let me bring on the orders. Targets are based on, let me go back to the 240. So targets are based on the closes of the daily candles for target ones. Target twos are a retest of they're based off the 4 hourly. Right, target twos are in the wrong spot here. What have I done there? Okay, yeah, I want them at 30.32. I want them above this VS1 level, this highlighted area here. Okay. So that has reduced down secondary target slightly. Let's just rework these out. Okay, 112 to target ones. We're looking at around 179 to target twos, and again, because of that double top now, 46 pips there. We're back for an update. You can see now that we're rallying down quite nicely, 67 pips. I've actually been waiting for this to drop and really start rallying, and it's moving along quite nicely. So I'm going to set text message here. First targets are just above the 180-100 even handled number. We're back for another update here. Currently 70 70, 75-ish pips up here now. RSI here on the 15 has gone oversold, so I would expect as we approach the structure level here we may see somewhat of a reaction, but it would be nice for this just to push down that little ways so that we can maybe get first targets out today, which is Friday. It's just gone it's almost 340. I would like to at least get positions 1 out of this and then hope for positions 2 for next week. Okay, currently 93 pips up, here 94. We're pretty much at that structure level that I mentioned just earlier, which is this top level here. Quite oversold here now at 12.4. There we go, 100 pips up now. Really hoping we can push down these final 12 pips here before the market decides to have a little bit of relief. It'll certainly allow me to move to break even, and 102 now, 103, so 104. Market really tanking here, and I thought that this may happen once we actually breach the structure level here. And you can see we did a small amount of relief back into structure, and then boom, we've just fallen off. So really hoping we can get these last few pips here. We have actually now come within a few pips of my target, so I'm going to go ahead here and move a few pips past break even. And we're back. Had to pause the video for a few minutes because there we go, lovely targets hit there, 110, 112 pips, something like that on that trade. Yeah, I had to pause the video because of we came within a few pips of target and rallied up, and as you can see now we have rallied the other way. So I'm just going to be 5 pips in front of my break even here, and let's zoom out here to the 60-minute time frame, and we're still not gone oversold here on the hourly, so good opportunity to potentially come down for secondary targets here, although I do think that will be next week now. We're back on the pound Aussie. It is 8:15 on Monday and currently 150 pips up on this trade. If we just zoom in and see what price has been doing, when the market opened we had a small gap, and as you can see just here we gapped lower. We gapped lower than this previous low as well, and we have actually now just put in a new low here as well. So another 30 pips to go here towards targets, but we are certainly looking like we are going to get down there. Okay, we're back for an update here, and I just want to talk through this trade because I have moved my stop to above the most recent structure level, and I just want to talk through what's actually happening on this trade. Let's remove the orders. Okay, so let's just go out to the 240 a second. Okay, so we know that we have put in a new structure low here, and that's an indication that the market could be coming lower. Now if I go to the 60-minute time frame, you can see this highlighted box here, this structure level that has been tested several times, and the last hourly candle came up to it here. Now importantly we've not closed beyond it, so the move to the downside is still valid for me. And if we go to the 15-minute time frame, we get a little bit more of a picture. So here you can see that structure level more clearly defined. We had a move lower, giving us a new structure low. We pulled back into structure. Right here we had a inverted hammer, and then we have come up and we are currently holding this level. We have not closed beyond it. Now if we were to close beyond that, for me this continuation will be invalid, and we could be looking at going higher before coming lower. So this could be a double top. We did just about go overbought at 80 here, and this structure level that's been tested multiple times, so it's a good place to put my stop, and that's exactly what I've done. I put my stop above this level, so if I am now stopped out for secondary targets here, I'll still bank 80 pips. If not, and we can come down, well then we still have our main target down here. But I want to be a little bit cautious if we're looking at violating the structure level that's been tested 3 times and is currently being tested for the 4th time. And we're back for the final part of this video, and I have just been stopped out for 97 pips for target 2. I did move my stop in preparation for the budget. If I'm honest, I forgot to move it back. Sugar, as they say. So anyway, my stop was, from memory, just above the swing high here. I think I moved it because of the budget, just in case something obscure happened. If I'm completely honest, I haven't back tested the reaction of the budget on the Forex market, so I was a little bit unprepared as to what was going to happen. So I moved my stop to an appropriate place where there wasn't too much risk on the table, and I've just had a trade win on the Euro Aussie. I'm monitoring a trade on the pound yen that's just about to hit, and all I heard through my headset was the lady say stop hit. So mistake there for secondary targets, so obviously we were holding for 180 pips, but nevertheless, there we go. Secondary target, some protective stop, if that's what you want to call it, now hit. So total banked, let's have a look on this trade. 97 for target 2, we bank half of that, and I banked 112, I think it was. So total banked on this trade 115 pips for the pound Aussie. Do me a favour, if you like the content in this video and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, and of course don't forget to give the video a like.